Where I feel challenged is by fear coming up. And I notice how how much it affects me to be in a frequency with you guys this weekend. It actually dissolves the fear or softens it. Whereas if I'm not before this weekend, I have such a challenge getting into that frequency on my own. Or even, I guess it takes a lot for me to really decide, okay, I'm going to be with this fear because, a lot of shaking but if I do, I can get through it and relax it, but it comes back and it comes back. And Amoda, I really liked what you just described about the soft gaze and the soft touch and open gaze, because I also notice how I have a tendency to contract. Really, I can feel it in the body. Yeah, and of course, these are just old patterns laid down in childhood. So I just would love to hear if you have anything to suggest or say.
Is it possible, Kirsten, to bring or be willing to bring a soft gaze upon fear? Rather than trying to get rid of it or trying to focus on this particular frequency as we are here, to actually acknowledge, accept that fear, in whatever expression, is here. Fear is usually a thought about the future, something that might happen. If you can catch it there, then you can cut the root of it, because what you fear is going to happen hasn't happened, so there's no reality to it. But for many people, that's not so directly possible, and then it becomes an energy. Yeah, shaking or palpitation, or I don't know, whatever the physical sense of contraction and so on. Then it's an energy. And all energies are not the enemy. They're pointers back home. So rather than avoiding it or trying to get rid of it, bring a soft gaze upon it. Really practice a soft gaze. Here's an energy. How can I practice a soft gaze upon this?
Yeah.
It changes everything.
Yeah, yes. And when you said if there is a thought, I think the thought is I'm not okay. And of course, it doesn't make any sense because I am okay. So who is it that's not okay? Of course, that's a little child that made that conclusion or felt that way. So would you also question that thought?
Yes, you can question that thought.
Who is that feels
She's not okay. And if that is the reflection back, that yes, it was the little child, the little girl that was not okay, the if you like, invitation is the same. It's not that, oh, okay, well, it was in the past, it's the little girl, I'm going to ignore that. It's actually, well, obviously an aspect of that little girl is still alive in the energy field. Bring a soft gaze to that. Bring a soft gaze to the vulnerable one, to the scared one, which is the same as the actual energy of the fear. The fear that you feel is the energy field of the little girl. So bring a soft gaze. And what's happening here is that on a psychodynamic level, you're creating the good parent for the little girl. On a more spiritual level, or yeah, perhaps a deeper level than the psychological dynamics of it, you are developing the space, we can call it awareness, space. We can also call it godness. We can call it light of beingness for all pain, all suffering, all wounding to come home to true nature. Everything yearns to come home to the source. The source is the light of beingness, because everything arises from that, even pain and fear and whatever else. Yeah, so it yearns to come home and dissolve back into the ocean. Every wave, which is an emotion, a feeling, a fear, a this, an energy, yearns to come home and dissolve in the ocean of beingness. When we reject it or say it's wrong, or try to avoid it in some kind of way, or bypass, spiritually bypass, emotionally bypass, we have denied that wave, that energy, its possibility to come home and dissolve into the one true source. So there's a number of things going on here, all the same, just different ways of speaking to it.
And do I know, is there a way to differentiate whether I am, without knowing it, of course, unconsciously self-creating this over and over again, or it is a purification that will just happen until it's done? Or doesn't that question even matter because it's of
It
the...
doesn't really matter. If it's here, it's here. And this is the only real solution at the deepest level. And then at some point on that journey, because this that we're speaking of is an ongoing purification into the light of awareness, into the light of beingness, at some point on that purification journey, let's say, you may have the insight that you're recreating it. And then it'll come to an end. They're sort of together, both those things. The realization that it's being self-created and the purification process itself, they're symbiotic.